All right, all right. Exam time just around the corner. So, excuse me there. What do you do? You've read the notes, you've been practicing, you've been studying, you've been eating well, sleeping well. Some short tips. All right. So, it's a grade 5 exam you're preparing for. Grade 5. Yes, there's a grade 6 and so on. We'll get to that. But in this episode, the grade 5 exam. And so, what we did, we went back. The grade 5 exam usually falls at the end, right, of the grade 5 year. And so what we did is we just went back because we already wrote two exams, right? We wrote the first term, second term, and so we ain't gotta worry about nothing else. Is in the term. This is the last term. We studied with notes, and we were ready for the exam. We done. Teacher Rishika, welcome. What do is that
Yes,
it? Is
thank
that it?
you.
We just
No,
studied
well,
notes.
that's not it. That's not it. So, this is a national exam, and in order to be properly or adequately prepared for this exam, you need more than your grade 5 notes. You need your grade 4 notes, maybe some from grade 3 also, but you need grade 4 and 5 notes. I think some person thinks that grade 5 and grade 6 begins in grade 5 and grade 6, but it actually begins before that, and we just build on what you would have learned before. So you need to go over those grade 4 notes, you need to go over those grade 5 notes so that you will be adequately prepared.
Um, you know, let's just forget about the students. The students appear. Let's look at the teachers. Students, I don't know, and you can here again say something in the comments. I don't know how many of you would have heard your teachers say, "Don't worry with this topic. Don't worry at all, man. When y'all get into the next grade, the teacher can teach it." So we can just browse. We can just run through this quickly. And the next year, y'all can do a better job. And teacher can, because we ain't got time and we busy and so on and so. Or you have heard, well, yeah, I did it already in the previous grade, so we ain't got to touch this. We can just, go through the, I should already know it. So we move on. Um, I just want to say that there are topics, especially in mathematics and science, if I'm right, whereby you start them even in grade 1, and every year, grade 2, 3, 4, 5, you add a little bit more. It gets more complex. You add more flesh to the bones, as they say, or you grow in its complexity. And as such, you need to have all the layers of this construction. All right, you're building a building. Every layer, every brick matters in this case, right? So if you're in grade 5, as Teacher Rishika said, and you're preparing for exam, find those grade 4 books that you might have thrown away because you say, I'm done with grade 4. I know small child no more, big, go back to the garbage bin, the landfill, wherever you put them, find them. Now, if you're lucky, you can go online. I'm sure your education department, ministry, or something of the sort would have the content there for you to go and, at least review it to some level. All right. So therefore, by extension, if you're preparing for the big exam, the exam that takes you from elementary or primary school to high school or middle school, if you're preparing for that big exam, by extension, the grade 6 exam.
Yes, yes. So you need to know grade 4 content, grade 5, and grade 6. Most of them are recurring. So we here again we're going back to grade 4, grade 5, and we have to review those content to prepare us for grade 6.
And if you did a good job in grade 4, you excel, you got a nice A grade in 90s, then there's not much for you to go and review when it comes to grade 4 because, you were competent with it.
Yes, and that is why you want to excel in the lower grades. You don't want to take it for granted because some persons they said, well, I'm in grade 3, I'm in grade 4, I'm in grade 5. I can do whatever I want because I only have exams in grade 6, like the real exam. They don't take the other exams important that they do in their classes. They only look at the national exams. But how are you going to prepare for those national exams if you don't know basic content? So everything, every grade, every subject is important if you want to be successful in elementary school to go to secondary school. So,
High school for some of you,
yes, high school.
big school. Just the school, just when you grow up and you leave and you don't have to worry about schooling anymore. You know, past papers. past papers. I mean, you're writing exams, you're studying your notes, you're using textbooks, you're going online, you're watching YouTube videos, you're getting private tutoring, past papers.
Yes, past papers, they are another important source of information because they bring back content that you need to know. So the questions, the contents, if you answer a question and you get it wrong, you will know that you don't know that and you have to go back and find that information. So past papers is basically practice. At least you get an idea of the structure of the question, the type of question, and you're somewhat prepared. So if you've never looked at a past paper when you go into an exam, you might be shocked because you don't know about the structure of the question. You've never seen that type of question because as we said in a previous video that we have different types of questions. Knowledge, where is just recall. We have our application questions, we have our reasoning questions. And if you are only exposed to one type of questions or two type of questions, then you'd be at a disadvantage. So I think the past papers would put you at an advantage because it allows for a lot of revision.
So it's not only about content and whether you know the content and can apply the content, but also about that rigor. You know, you'll be a little stressed when you're in the exam. You know, you gotta go and go and all that weight and all the expectation. So can you imagine getting used to that? Like exams don't make me nervous. My belly don't go in a butterfly, the hands don't shake, you know, I don't faint, I don't get thirsty, you know. Can I sit down there for an hour, 50 minutes, hour and a half, 3 hours? It's all of these aspects of preparation that working past papers in the manner in which the exam would usually have you, that would help you um, with doing well at the exam. So many elements to passing an exam, right? Lastly,
But I want to stop you there. Let me stop you there. I know that some persons they're very smart, but because they haven't have had this rigorous exam practice, they go in the exam and they do not do so well because they're so nervous and they would not have been exposed to that kind of practice and information and so forth. So that's another thing. You can have somebody who's scoring 90 something percent, maybe 100% in class, but then when they go to the exam, you're wondering what happened. And sometimes those persons, they would not have practiced exam taking. And preparation is very important. And I think practicing exam papers is a very important step in practicing for that exam and preparing for that exam.
cheat sheets. Cheat sheets. Now, this word is taboo in a lot of places because cheating is bad. But if you go online and you search for cheat sheets, generally what they are summaries, topic summaries, right? And what they're meant for is a last minute. You wake up in the morning, the night before you go to sleep, you're traveling on your way to the exam, right? You can look at this one sheet and it has a summary. If it's science, it gives you a summary of the organs, the body systems, the various points. If it's a process, right, like photosynthesis, you know, simple summaries, that's really what they are. And I'm sad that oftentimes when you search for it, it's under the name cheat sheets because many of you don't like, and you shouldn't be cheating anyways. But that is what many of them are afraid. And they're books. So they're not encouraging you to cheat. But the context is um, with these highly summarized uh, papers, because usually in the form of a sheet, literally a sheet per topic or per concept or per series of topics, right? So think about math. You have a sheet where all the formulas are there so you can glance through just before. You don't take it in. It's not meant for you to take it in a sheet, right? What it's meant for is that you to make a last minute glance, right? Before you get into the exam, right? Before. You make that last, okay, I'm finished revising, I'm finished looking, I'm heading in there to face whatever's before me. All right. And you can make your own summaries, right? As you're reviewing your note, jot down, write some points. All right. And it could be of some of the things that you find very hard to remember, right? So you can have some points. I don't remember. Listen, I need to focus on these. And probably when I go just before the exam, I need to consult the teacher, the lecturer, and say, could you please one last time explain this to me, give me a little breakdown before I go in. This has been troubling me all term. Let me just have one last review. All right, so we have the scope of the exam. If you're going to grade 5, ensure you do a little grade 4 and 5. You're going to grade 6, ensure you do grade 4, 5, and 6. Review your notes, find them somehow, or go online. Hope your education department or ministry would have them. Your past paper practice, all right? Do it on the time conditions. It's not too late. Still do them now. Go practice, spend an hour, 45 minutes, see how you do, time yourself, and look at summaries. Summaries are good ways to refresh, get the brain going just before the exam. And there are different summaries for different topics: math, social studies, and language. And that is just a little preparation tip for you before you get into the exam. Literally before, not months and weeks before. This is hours and minutes before. Right? Before we close, anything you wish to add?
Nothing else, nothing
Thank
else.
you. There you go. Another deep dive in preparing for your exams. Thank you.